Hello, everybody. My name is Hall Squires. I'm a first year grad student here at Delta State, and I'm also a GA for the swim and dive team. This is a little bit about me. My early days were split between two places, Pensacola and Sacramento. I was born in Pensacola. Pensacola, of course, known for their sugar white sand beaches, which is really huge for me. My dad was a swim coach for nearly 2 decades, and so I found myself in the water early and often. Um, but only after a few years, I would find myself in Sacramento, California. Sacramento, California, of course, known for the statement, "Oh, that's the capital of California." All jokes aside, I really did enjoy my time in California, particularly from just like their wide ranging development in extracurriculars. Really impressive rec baseball, really impressive rec football programs that were, you know, prioritizing the development of youth athletics. That was just a lot of fun and really great to be a part of. But even at the school level, at the municipality level, the arts and music departments were super advanced and a lot of fun, and really enjoyed growing up in both of these places. But shortly thereafter, I would find myself moving to Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to anybody who recognizes this guy in the top right corner. Right when I moved to Memphis was right and when the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies were coming about. For anybody who's not familiar, the Memphis Grizzlies are the NBA basketball team for Memphis. And I was always thought it was so cool how this grit and grind Grizzlies basketball team really became a symbol for the city of Memphis, for this blue collar community, hard nosed, hard working community. And it was just really, really cool that, the whole city really came together over this team right when I got there, and, very quickly fell into that community. Memphis would also be where I got my first taste of leadership in athletics. I would go to middle school and I would go to high school here in Memphis, Tennessee, and I would be lucky enough to compete in 6 different state championships across 3 sports during my time in high school. And I'd also get the opportunity to become a captain in 3 of those sports my senior year. After Memphis, I would go to college at the University of Colorado. This was a wonderful experience too. Boulder, obviously, a very, very, very beautiful place. Um, and I was a political science major, but really what I treasure about my time in Colorado was my minor. I thought that my experience with my journalism minor, and specifically the whole College of Media and Communications and Information at CU Boulder, was really just so superb. Um, I had the opportunity my senior year to do a pretty expansive project on social media storytelling. And so you can see me here with my TikTok account, in which I covered in pretty great depth college basketball. I even had the opportunity to interview and get really involved with CU athletics. Here in the bottom right corner, you can see me with Neat Clifford. Neat Clifford is a small forward. He was on CU Boulder, transferred to Colorado State shortly thereafter, and was actually just a first round pick in this past year's NBA draft to the Sacramento Kings. So college was a wonderful experience here at Boulder. And right afterwards, I would find myself moving to New Orleans. I would move to New Orleans to accept a teaching fellowship and teach here for 3 years. I could go on and on about my time here in New Orleans. It was really just the most incredible experience, and really a defining experience for my life so far. Never in a million years would I have imagined that I would have been exposed to such awesome kids, such talented kids in so many diverse ways. You can see some examples of student art. This is a student drew me sitting at a laptop cart and a tiger. That I would always have kids try and draw and create little competitions with them just to, continue their love for art and continue their passions. But New Orleans is a wonderful city. I had a wonderful time teaching there for 3 years. I taught 7th and 8th grade social studies. Um, but obviously, athletics was a big part of the community, and that kind of takes me into my why I'm here now. It really all does tie back to New Orleans. There's a joke amongst teachers, um, this remember your why. And the joke is essentially that, things might get hard during the school year and you would have administrators tell you to remember your why. Why are you here? Why are you teaching? And, at first it may have been a joke, but I started to realize that my answer was pretty concrete, in that I was very confident in why I was there and why I was teaching. And it was this idea of choice filled lives, right? The idea that if you can be an impactful educator for these kids, you are helping them take steps towards a choice filled life, towards what I would teach in social studies, which is individual liberty. I would always be trying to institute that in my class, always trying to push kids to think about this idea of individual liberty, how history impacted individual liberty for different groups of people, which again is the same idea as choice-filled lives, right? Individual liberty, choice-filled lives, the idea that you get to live the life that you want to choose, and education is a pathway to make that happen. But I do think that is only one part of it. As I tried to, show that athletics was a big part of my life growing up, and I think that that's a big reason why I want to be here at Delta State and why I want to be around athletics so badly, is that I can kind of get a more complete, more holistic understanding of how to really impact youth's lives in a way that allows them to live choice-filled lives both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. But that's me.